The following program has been rated PG-13.
Shalom, Israel, giving honor and praise to the Most High God for the reading and the understanding of His word in Israel, Israel, Israel. It's that time again. Oh, yes, it is. It's that time again where I get to address you, the royal family, by saying this. I want to wish every king, every queen, every prince, and every princess, I want to wish you a wonderful, magnificent Sabbath, and thank you so much for bringing this in with your brother again. I say it every week. You could have been anywhere else, but you chose to be here tonight. You chose to be right here with the royal family and ushering in this Sabbath and giving praise to the Most High God. And thank you so much. Now, Israel, I want to go right ahead and jump into this lesson tonight because, for one, this is a lesson that's very special. Very, very special. Because, as y'all already know, we have kicked off the Rock Your Royalty campaign. And let me say something right now. I want to thank each and every last one of you that submitted your pictures. And as you saw, I put them right up there on my Instagram page and everybody can see you rocking your royalty. And let me tell you, y'all are some beautiful people. Our people are beautiful. Now, I'm encouraging everyone else to continue. Oh, this is not going to stop. This Rock Your Royalty is not going to stop. It can't stop. Why? Because even in the kingdom, we will still be rocking our royalty. So you better get your practice in now. You better get your practice in. I'm letting you know right now. I'm telling you, don't say you are not warned. Now, where did all of this stem from? Not the Rock Your Royalty, but this lesson here tonight. Israel, I have had the distinct honor and pleasure of being able to sit down and have a conversation with a living legend. Living legend. Now, everybody should know exactly who this is. Now, Israel, if you are not familiar with this queen right here, this is none other than Pat Evans, the originator, the matriarch of the black modeling business. And you know what? I can't even say black modeling business. The modeling business altogether. She is the OG. All the styles and everything that you saw there from the 70s, even going all the way up until this very day here. This queen right here influenced Grace Jones and so many other models. She was not only a model, but also the makeup artist for Aretha Franklin and Leonard Nimoy, Spock from Star Trek. This is a living legend, and she's been all over the game. But why are we discussing Queen Pat here tonight? First of all, many of you have seen this image. Now, this is Queen Tiffany Haddish, and this is the image that she had on her Instagram page for Halloween. Now, many of you that are already familiar with Queen Pat know where this comes from. It comes from this right here. You see, Queen Pat was the model for the Ohio Players albums. Queen Pat reached out to me, and her and I, we've had conversations and everything there in the past, and but this time though, when she reached out, this message was a little bit different, and she was like, "Brother Mike," she said, "I'm angry." She said, "I'm angry," and she was very heartfelt with it. And why? Because she saw that image of Queen Tiffany Haddish and she was regretful. She wasn't angry at Tiffany Haddish. She was angry with herself. She was regretful. She said, because what I did in the past has influenced our youth today. So for those of you that are not familiar, if you're not following Queen Pat or whatnot, she is in the truth. She's in the truth. Yes, she is. Not only is she in the truth, but she's also making Israelite clothing for our people. Yes, she most certainly is. So when she saw that image, it threw her back to being like, man, as many of us have made mistakes, still do to this day. So this is absolutely no judgment whatsoever. But she saw this, and of course, it took her back because something that she did in her past has affected what was done here in the future. And she was angry with herself. And this is why image means everything. Now, I want to give Queen Pat her honor right now because that's very humbling, Israel. Let me tell you something. For someone to accept what they've done and be angry with themselves about it and then reach out, because she did reach out to Queen Tiffany Haddish or whatnot. And of course, you know, they had their express words. But she was so humble to the point where it bothered her spirit. And she just could not let it stay there. So she reached out to me and we had a very long conversation, and it was an absolute pleasure and an absolute honor. So that's where this lesson is coming from here tonight. Image is everything. And it most certainly is. So now what I want you to do, Israel, I want you to open your Bibles to the 1611 King James Version Bible with the Apocrypha. I want you to go to the book of Ecclesiasticus. I want you to go to Ecclesiasticus. I want you to go to chapter 19 and verse 29. Ecclesiasticus chapter 19, verse 29. And you are going to see exactly how, grab my water here. We'll be about to start reading. You're going to see exactly how the Most High refers to your image. All right, Ecclesiasticus chapter 19, verse 29. Here we go. A man may be known by his look, and one that hath understanding by his countenance, when thou meetest him. So this is that first appearance. What is the Most High saying right here? He's saying a person is going to know you by your countenance. He's going to know you by your appearance. So let's play a little game here real quick, Israel. Take a look at this. Now, Israel, what is this right here? How do you know? This is a police officer. How do you know he's a police officer? Because of his uniform, because of his look, because of his countenance. It's recognizable, right? All right, next one. Now, Israel, what is this? It's a fireman. And how do you know he's a fireman? Because of his look, because of his countenance. All right, next one. Now, Israel, what is this? It's a doctor. Now, how do you know it's a doctor? Very easy. By his look, by his countenance, by his uniform. Next. Oh my God. Israel, what is this? Now, this is what you call a horse skank. Now, how do you know that this is a horse skank? Because of her looks and by her countenance. Next. What is this? This is right here what you would call a nigger. And not the good one, the bad one. Stone cold thug right here. Right here. How do you know that he is involved in the religion of niggatry? I mean, look at his appearance. Look at him. That's how you know. Now, Israel, go to the next. Israel, what is this? This is an Israelite. This is rocking your royalty. This is giving honor and praise to the Most High God. How? Oh, you're going to learn tonight. You are going to learn tonight. And how do you know that this is an Israelite, Israel? By his look, by his appearance, and by his countenance. You see? Israel, that's very simple. Image is everything. The image matters. So now, being that the image does matter, what we are going to do, we are going to get into these scriptures here tonight, and we are going to read some things. Now, before we get into anything else, I want to read Deuteronomy chapter 6. I want to read 1 through 25. I want to read the whole chapter. Because what we have to do is establish how important these commandments are. Now, I know a lot of the time We bring out different things, but here in Deuteronomy 6, this is the definitive chapter with Moses speaking to the children of Israel and really letting them know about the importance of the commandments. So let's go ahead and jump there right now. Go to Deuteronomy chapter 6. All right, let me get another drink because I'm going to be reading a lot. I'm going to try to read it straight through. But of course, explaining it as I go, but I want to read it straight through. Okay, Israel, here we go. Let's start. Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 1. Now these are the commandments, the statutes, and the judgments which the Lord your God commanded to teach you, that ye might do them in the land whither ye go to possess it. So what is it saying? That Moses here was commanded by the Most High God to teach us these commandments. So it doesn't matter where we are, whatever land that we're in, whether we're here in the US, whether we are in England, Mexico, Ireland, doesn't matter. Wherever we are to keep his commandments. Verse 2. That thou mightest fear the Lord thy God to keep all his statutes and his commandments, which I command thee. Thou and thy son, and thy son's son, all the days of thy life, and that thy days may be prolonged. So what is it saying right here, Israel? It's saying you are to teach these commandments. First, Moses taught it to our forefathers. Our forefathers taught it to their sons and their sons and their sons, and now us. And as you see, to teach thy sons and thy sons, meaning generational. I want you to remember that word, generational. Keep going and going and going. Did you hear anything or did you read anything about a stopping point? No. And it says throughout all the days of your lives. It doesn't stop. And also it says so that your days may be prolonged. All right, verse 3. Hear therefore, O Israel, not the whole world, and observe to do it, that it may be well with thee. So if you keep the commandments, it's going to be well with you. It's going to do you some good to keep these commandments, or you'll find out what that means. And that ye may increase mightily, as the Lord God of thy fathers hath promised thee in the land that floweth with milk and honey. Verse 4. Hear, O Israel, and he says it again, O Israel, not the whole world, the Lord our God is one Lord. And thou shalt love the Lord let me start this over. And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thine heart, all of your heart, and with all thy soul and with all thy might, meaning with everything that you got, every last drop, every last bit that you have in your body, you are to give to the Most High. That's how you're supposed to love him. And how do you love him? By keeping his commandments. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart. And thou shalt teach them diligently, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in the house, in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. Israel, I don't think it gets any more plain than that. No more plain than that, Israel. The Most High God said, when you are in your crib chilling, when you are out and about walking, you're in a car, you're doing whatever. Doesn't matter where you are. When you lay down, when you wake up, you are to be teaching your children these commandments. That's what it says. That's not my opinion. Not my opinion. That's what the Bible says. And if you're not doing that, then you got a problem in your household. All right. Verse 8. And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine hand, and they shall be the frontlets between thine eyes. So in other words, you say when you're looking right here, looking at your hand, it doesn't matter, because right here means in your mind, in your forehead, and right here on your hands, meaning anything that you look at, whatever you touch, better be dealing with them commandments. All right, verse 9. And thou shalt write them upon the post of thy house and on thy gates. Now, Israel, I want to get you a precept for this one right here. I want you to go to Joshua chapter 24. Go to Joshua chapter 24 and go down to verse 15. Joshua chapter 24 and verse 15. I want to show you how cold this is. How cold and so raw and so powerful. Watch this. And if it seem evil unto you to serve the Lord. Now let's stop for a second. So here is what Joshua is saying, inspired by the Most High. If it seems evil to you to serve God, if it seems evil to you to serve God, watch this. Choose you this day whom you will serve. So it's saying, listen, you are going to make a choice today. We're not playing no games. You are going to make a choice. Either you're going to choose the Most High or you're going to choose the other gods of the world. Watch this. Choose you this day whom ye will serve, whether the gods which your fathers served that were on the other side of the flood. What flood? The flood in the time of Noah. Or the gods of the Amorites in whose land ye dwell. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. Now, I don't think many of you may have picked up on that. What is Joshua saying? Joshua's like, listen, I don't give a damn what you do, but you got to make up your mind about what you're going to do and who you're going to serve. I don't care who you serve, but as for me and my house and my crib, you are going to serve the Most High God. All right. And I wanted to show that there to you. So remember, y'all can build up your precepts. So let's go back to Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy chapter 6 and verse 9. And as you see, all the prophets said the same things over and over and over again. They did not change. Nothing has ever changed. All right. So let me read that one more time. And thou shalt write them upon the post of thy house and on thy gates. So you see how that's the precept. Verse 10. And it shall be when the Lord thy God shall have brought thee into the land which he sware unto your fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give thee great and goodly cities which thou buildest not. So what is this talking about right here? This is talking about the coming kingdom. This is talking about the coming kingdom that was promised to our fathers. Now, through what lineage? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, which is the forefather of the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. That's right. Nobody else. The promise that was given to your fathers. And as you see, it does not talk about the whole world. It does not talk about the whole world. Just us. All right, let's continue. Before I do that, and do you see how it also mentions that you are going to come into the city here where your hands did not build? Meaning that you didn't build this. It did not come from us. It came from him. Let's continue. And houses full of goods, and houses full of all good things which thou fillest not. And wells digged, which thou diggest not, vineyards and olive trees, which thou plantest not, when thou shalt have eaten and be full. So it's letting you know the fulfillment of, if you keep his commandments, the promises that was given to our forefathers and foremothers all the way back then, the very same promise exists today. Nothing has changed. Nothing at all. We just have to keep the commandments. The only thing that has ever changed is that we continue to break the commandments, but now we break them worse than our forefathers did. All right, let's continue. Verse 12. Then beware lest thou forget the Lord, which brought thee forth out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage. Now, why is this so important right here? Because now, here is Joshua saying, here's the Most High that brought us out of the house of Egypt, out of the house of bondage, meaning slavery. And so now, guess what? Today, we are still in Egypt because we are still in bondage. We are still in slavery. It doesn't matter what freedom they said that they give you. We are not in rulership. So we are in captivity. And as you see here, the prophet Joshua, the prophet Moses, I'm still thinking of Joshua because Joshua said the same thing. But the prophet Moses is telling us the future. The future. And we're living it right now. All right, let's continue. Verse 13. Thou shalt fear the Lord thy God and serve him and shall swear by his name. Why will we swear by the Most High's name? I thought that was a sin. Why would we swear by the Most High's name? Why? Let me tell you what it means in this context. Because we are going to keep the commandments under the fear of our daddy. That's why. Verse 14. Ye shall not go after other gods, of the gods of the people which are round about you right now. So who are some of those gods? Let's white Jesus, Muhammad, Allah, Buddha, harsh Krishna, yourselves. Oh yeah. I know y'all wasn't ready for that one. You said yourselves. Verse 15. For the Lord thy God is a jealous God among you. Now, we read that many times before. Lest the anger of the Lord thy God be kindled against thee and destroy thee from off the face of the earth. Do y'all understand what the Most High is saying there? Do you see that promise that the Most High said? And I want y'all to remember this one right here, where it says that he is going to destroy you off the face of the earth. That is one hell of a warning. I don't know about you, but that is a hell of a warning. For the Most High God said, if you don't keep my commandments, I'm going to destroy you off the face of the earth. That is hardcore. I don't think y'all understand that promise when the Most High God says that. First of all you have to do is watch the news. All you have to do is look to see the black casualty rate, the Hispanic casualty rate, and the Native American casualty rate. He made that promise. We are dying all over this place, all over, in so many different creative ways too, by our own people, by other people. But what did the Most High say earlier? What did he say? If we kept his commandments, we would have prolonged lives, right? Yes, because we read it. But being that we continue to live in sin, our people are dying all over the place and dying creatively and harshly, absolute harshly. And it's our own fault. I know that is such a hard pill for some of us to digest, but guess what? That pill is going to be swallowed whether you like it or not. All right, verse 16. Ye shall not tempt the Lord your God as ye tempted him in Massa. I'm going to say this again. Ye shall not tempt the Lord your God as ye tempted him in Massa. What is Moses saying here? Let's get past Moses. What is the Most High saying? He's saying, don't play with me. Don't tempt me. Don't play with me. That's a father. That's a father. Verse 17. Ye shall diligently keep the commandments of the Lord your God and his testimonies and his statutes, which he hath commanded thee. He said, you're going to keep my commandments. You're going to keep them. Verse 18. And thou shalt do that which is right and good in the sight of the Lord, that it may be well with thee, and that thou mayest go in and possess the good land which the Lord sware unto your fathers. It's saying it again. The Most High continues to tell us about these promises that he made to our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And that promise is never going to change. Not one bit. It's never going to change. That promise is still good right now. And that's what we are fighting for. That's why you are here tonight, to hear this word and to learn how to keep these commandments. All right? Verse 20. And when thy son asketh thee in time to come, I want to stop here. That's why I paused for a second. I wanted to stop here with that. If thy sons were to ask thee in time to come, Israel, what is that talking about? What does that mean? Remember earlier how we read where it says that we are to teach our sons and daughters, keep going and going and going throughout the generations, right? Now, what is that time to come? Now. This time right now, because we are in the last days, Israel. And so what is happening now? Just like how you got into truth. How did you get into this truth? Because there were some brothers that were out there teaching, or some queens that were out there teaching, or you may have rolled up on, and this word was coming out, and they asking, what commandments are you talking about? Wait a second, whoa. Listen, I've been to the Christian church. I'll go to Christian church. My pastor don't talk about that. He doesn't talk about any of that. What are you talking about? What commandments? And then you have brothers like myself and all of the other camps and all the other teachers bringing these commandments out. And you're like, what are you talking about? What testimonies? What do you mean? Let's read this again. Watch. Then thou shalt say unto thy son, wait, no, let me go back, verse 20, sorry. And when thy son asketh thee in time to come, saying, what mean the testimonies and the statutes and the judgments which the Lord our God hath commanded you? Like, what? First of all, my pastor told me that white Jesus said, all we have to do is just believe in him and everything is okay. Do you see how they knew everything back then? They saw these are prophets, which means they had prophecies. They saw what was coming. They saw it. The Most High God gave them those visions to see that. It is happening today. Because the Christians have no idea what the damn commandments are, because the Christian pastors don't teach it. They don't teach it. And so now they're asking questions. What are you talking about? All right, now let's go to verse 21. Then thou shalt say unto thy son, we were Pharaoh's bondmen in Egypt, and the Lord brought us out of Egypt with a mighty hand. So, another prophecy. When you first came into this truth, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, I'm talking everybody. When you came into this truth, what was the hook, line, and sinker to let you know that you were a child of Israel? What was it? Slavery. Your captivity. The curses. That's right. That's what it was. And that was the one that was like, wait a second. Oh, whoa, wait. That is talking about us. What the hell? There's a prophecy. And that's why I wanted to bring this one out. Now, remember, the Most High God said this will not happen to anybody else on this planet. Those curses will not happen to anybody else on this planet. You can find that in Daniel chapter 9, verse 11 through 12. Let's continue. All right, verse 23. And he brought us out from thence, that he might bring us in to give us the land which he sware unto our fathers. He keeps saying it over and over and over and over. This land is coming. This coming kingdom is on its way. And he's saying it repeatedly, letting our people know that kingdom is coming, just like we do here every week, just like the other brothers do, all the other teachers, letting us know this kingdom is coming, this kingdom is coming, this kingdom is coming. And you can't deny it. Verse 24. And the Lord commanded us to do all these statutes, to fear the Lord our God, for our good always, that he might preserve us alive as it is at this day. So the Most High God is saying, yo, listen, I'm not trying to kill y'all off. I don't want to kill you, but I have to. Why? Because you keep breaking my commandments. And remember, for the wages of sin is death. The Most High God keeps his word. He keeps his word. And you're not getting around it. We have to understand that. All right. Now, verse 25, last verse. And it shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments before the Lord our God, as he hath commanded us, Israel. I want to read this one more time because we are about to get into the commandments. And it shall be our righteousness. It shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments before the Lord our God, our possessive, as he hath commanded us. Israel, that's simple. What's so simple about this, Israel? The prophets, the teachers, the Most High, Christ, they all told us, y'all got to keep the commandments. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Y'all got to keep the commandments. All the way back then and throughout your generations, which means all the way till now, and even in the kingdom, we have to keep these commandments. Nothing is changing about that. Now that question, what commandments? What are we teaching right now? What are we on? What is the subject matter about? The dress code. The dress code. So we are going to look at the commandments of the dress code. Are we going to do every last one of them in the Bible tonight? No, but we're going to do a very good majority. So the first one I want to go first, before I even go there, go to Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 8. Zephaniah chapter 1 and verse 8. Go there. Because I want y'all to see this. And I'm going to read it slow so that we can get a full understanding and that no one is confused by this. Watch this. Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 8. And it shall come to pass. What does that mean, Israel? That it shall come to pass, meaning this is a future date. This is a prophecy for the future. And it shall come to pass in the day of the Lord's sacrifice that I will punish the princes and the king's children and all such as are clothed with strange apparel. Who are the princes? You, Israel. Who are the king's children? You, Israel. Kings, queens, princes, and princesses, the royal family, everyone under the sound of my voice, that is an Israelite. Because I know Esau is out there too. It's not for you, Esau. It's for us. I'm going to read that one more time. And it shall come to pass in the day of the Lord's sacrifice that I will punish the princes and the king's children and all such as are clothed with strange apparel. What does that mean, Israel? It means if you are not in dress code, then you are going to die. Bottom line, that's it. So now, let's first start with the obvious. I want you to go to Deuteronomy chapter 22. Go down to verse 5. Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 5. Many of you already know this one, and I know y'all so sick of me saying this, but I don't care. If you are sick, then guess what? This word is your medicine. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man. Neither shall a man put on a woman's garment, for all that do so are abomination unto the Lord thy God. So what does that mean? Queens, princesses, it means you cannot wear pants. That's what it means. You cannot wear pants. Pants were made for the sons of Aaron and going forward. Pants were made for us. It was made for the kings and the princes. You cannot wear pants. There's no such thing as women's pants. And if you think that there is, find me the scripture and I'll shut my mouth. Find me the scripture that says there are women pants, I'll shut my mouth. But let me tell you, my mouth is going to continue to be open because it doesn't exist. Now, on the flip side, a man shall not put on a woman's garment. So, Israel, this is very simple. How do you differentiate the two? What do men wear? Men wear pants. Women wear dresses. It's that easy. Now, we can go a step further. I know that y'all have seen this before because it's been plastered all over social media. Here you will have these stone thug men wearing panties. I'm not even trying to be funny right now. I'm being dead serious. It's been all over social media. You've seen it. And it's almost damn near like a gag. I don't understand it. I don't understand why somebody would even want to take that and put that out for everybody to see. It's disgusting. It's gross. But a lot of men do. And the Most High knew that this cross-dressing would take effect. He knew. And he said, yo, y'all cannot do that. You can't do that. All right. So now That's one of them. Now I want you to go to Isaiah. I want you to go to Isaiah. I want to get some precepts here. Go to Isaiah chapter 2 and verse 12. Because remember, watch this, Israel. For the day of the Lord of hosts shall be upon everyone that is proud and lofty. Now remember what we just read here in Zephaniah 1 and 8. What was it talking about? It was talking about the day of the Lord's sacrifice. So I want to get some more precepts about this day that's coming. For the day of the Lord of hosts shall be upon everyone that is proud and lofty, meaning you doing what you want to do, meaning not following the commandments. And upon everyone that is lifted up, he shall be brought down. That's the promise. The Most High God said, okay, all right, you want to go ahead and pump your chest full of air? I'm going to push it back in for you. I'm going to punch you in your chest. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to take you out. You want to be proud? You want to play with me? Remember what we read earlier. The Most High said, don't play with me. Don't tempt me. Don't play with me. Don't piss me off. Just keep my commandments. I'm telling you, that day of the Lord's sacrifice, man. Whew. Now, I want you to go to Isaiah chapter 13. Isaiah chapter 13, go down to verse 6. We're going to get some more into that. Listen to this. Howl ye, for the day of the Lord is at hand. It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. It doesn't get any more plain than that, Israel. Howl. Howl. You know what howl is? That's like a banshee scream. That day is coming. The day of weeping and gnashing of teeth. And you see what he said? He said, it's destruction that's coming. Absolute destruction. So now, let's go to Numbers. Go to Numbers chapter 15. Now, everybody is so familiar with verse 38 through 41 because we brought that out so many times. And we all know what that means. We all know what that chapter is about. Or those particular verses about wearing your fringes. Go to Numbers chapter 15. Go to verse 32. We are going to read the history. Now, remember, this is Numbers. This is also being spoken by Moses as well. All right, Numbers chapter 15, verse 32. And while the children of Israel, again, were in the wilderness, they found a man that gathered sticks upon the Sabbath day. So we got to stop here for a second. We have to paint the picture. We have to paint the scenario. So here you have the children of Israel in their land, in their spot, wherever they are, right? And everybody's out and about. It's the Sabbath day. It's the Sabbath day. And the people actually see one of their brothers picking up sticks, gathering sticks. Now, for those of you who are well-versed, you already know. Why was he gathering those sticks? What was he going to do with those sticks? Was he cleaning up? Or was he gathering sticks to cook, to light a fire? Now, as we already know, per the commandments, first of all, he shouldn't have been picking up sticks in the first place. That's breaking commandment as far as you shall not work, nor shall you cook. So right there, right off the rip, he's breaking two commandments. All right, verse 33. And they that found him gathering sticks brought him unto Moses and Aaron and unto all the congregation. So now, remember, we're continuing to paint that picture. So here we have the children of Israel. You have some brothers and sisters that's around, and they see this brother picking up sticks. Like, whoa, like, whoa. Yo, nigga, what you doing? What you doing? Because back then, they understood how important it was to keep the commandments. Nothing like today. Nothing like this environment today. Nothing like society now amongst the Israelites. No. They saw this brother, and they went and they yoked him up because they understood the importance of keeping the commandments and what would happen to the entire nation if one person broke the commandments. So when they went and they yoked him up and they took him to Moses, Aaron, and all the congregation. And they put him in ward, meaning they locked him up, because it was not declared what should be done to him. Verse 35. And the Lord said unto Moses, listen to this. And the Lord said unto Moses, the man shall surely be put to death. All the congregation shall stone him with stones without the camp. Now, remember when we read earlier that the Most High said, what did he say, Israel? Let me jog your memory. What did he say? The Most High God said, I'll wipe you off the face of the earth. Remember I told you, remember that? He said, I'm going to wipe you off the face of the earth. I'm going to kill you. Your body is going to return to dust, to be remembered no more for breaking my commandments. The Most High, I want y'all to understand this, Israel. I want you to get this in your head. The Most High does not play when it comes to breaking his commandments. I need you to understand that. Let's continue. I'm going to read it again. And the Lord said unto Moses, the man shall surely be put to death. All the congregation shall stone him with stones without the camp, meaning do it in privacy. Come away from the camp. I want y'all to see how cold the Most High is. Watch this. And all the congregation brought him without the camp and stoned him with stones, and he died as the Lord commanded Moses. Now, that went over many of your heads. It went over many of your heads. Israel, I'm going to explain something to you here in a second. Here's what the Most High did. Now, of course, if somebody is being stoned, what's accompanied with that? Yelling, hollering, screaming, howling. So what the Most High did, he's had Moses, Aaron, and the congregation take this man away from the camp, meaning that there was other people that was around, the very same people that brought him, right? And not only that, but all of the people of the surrounding areas that came to do this, y'all know we nosy. They took that man in privacy in the back and they stoned that man. And you can imagine the screams and the howls and all that while he's being shot, and then booming, them stones just hitting him and banging him and banging him and banging him and banging him until there was silence. The Most High allowed the people to use their imagination as to what was going on back there. All they heard was the screams. That's all they heard. That's it. Could you imagine today if, imagine this, Israel, imagine this. Imagine if there was one of us that were taken and just shot to death in privacy while everyone else stood outside and heard it. Imagine that. That's crazy. But that's the Most High. That's how he works. Verse 37, and the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations. Now, we have to go back to what we read earlier in Deuteronomy 6. What did it say? Continue throughout thy sons, and their sons, and their sons, and their sons, and their sons. And remember, we're speaking in the masculine vernacular, so it's talking about the sons and the daughters, but the continuing of the teaching of the commandments throughout the generations. Here it is again. Speak unto the children of Israel, and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations, and that they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue. That is the commandment. So, if you have any of these Christian pastors out there, or any so-called Israelite that's trying to preach something to you without their fringes on, get out of my face. How can you sit and tell me about the commandments when you are not keeping it your damn self? There's no way. No way whatsoever. And as you see right here, who was it for? Who are the fringes for? The fringes are for the children of Israel. That's it. Not Esau, not Ishmael, not Moab, not Ammon. Israel. Us. And that's it. So I say that because there's a lot of these uprising Israelite churches, so-called Israelite churches, that's putting Esau and the other nations in our garments. I'm offended by that. I don't give a damn what you say. I'm offended by that. I don't like that. The Most High said, this is for the children of Israel. This is for us. But of course, niggas. You always got some niggas that must include Esau in what we do. And it's a damn shame. All right. Verse 39. Now here's why you have to wear fringes. And it shall be unto you for a fringe, that ye may look upon it, countenance, and remember all the commandments of the Lord and do them. And that ye seek not after your own heart and your own eyes, after which ye used to go a-whoring, meaning dealing with the other nations and doing what they do. We learned about that last week, remember? Halloween, Christmas, Easter, all that stuff. This is the importance of wearing the fringes. The fringes mean something, Israel. What does it mean? You just learned it. It means that we have to look upon these fringes and remember to keep the commandments. We have to remember to keep the commandments. Verse 40, that ye may remember and do all my commandments and be holy unto your God. I'm going to come back to this one here. Verse 41, let's take this out. I am the Lord your God. I am the Lord your God. I am the Lord your God. Possessive. Which brought you out of the land of Egypt. There it is again. Referring right back to Egypt. Why? Why does the Most High always continue to refer back to Egypt? To remind us that we are in slavery. Only talking to one set of people. Only talking to one set of people. To be your God, I am the Lord your God. Period. Now I want to jump back to verse 40. That ye may remember and do all my commandments and be holy unto your God. Holy, holy, holy. So now, Israel, precept time. I want you to go to 1 Peter chapter 1. Go down to verse 15. 1 Peter chapter 1. Verse 15. But as he which have called you is holy, so be ye holy in all manner of conversation. Because it is written, because it is written, because it is written, be ye holy, for I am holy. Israel, do you see that? You're holy. You're different. You're separate. You're special. You are peculiar. You are a God. And you are not to be wearing what the other nations wear. The Most High God said, you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, y'all are holy. Holy. Different than everybody else. Different, special, peculiar, holy. Now, that's New Testament. I want you to go now to Leviticus. Go to the Old Testament. I want you to go to Leviticus chapter 19. Leviticus chapter 19, go to verse 1. I'm going to read it verse 1 to 2. And again, who is the person speaking to us this whole time besides Joshua? Moses. Watch this. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto all the congregation of the children of Israel, and say unto them, ye shall be holy, for I, the Lord your God, am holy. Y'all not ready for this, Israel. Y'all not ready. Y'all not ready. Because I hear somebody right now complaining. I don't want to wear no damn dress. My pants are comfortable. I want to wear what I want to wear. I don't want no niggas telling me what I can and can't do. I hear right now, and yes, it's a sister. Oh, yeah, it is. It's one of the queens and princesses. And guess what? If you don't want to comply, die. And that's the bottom line to that. The time for fun and games and all that is over. The kingdom is too close at hand. If you want to die, go die. Go be happy in your pants or whatever, but I'm telling you right now, those pants are going to get burned up right along with you. So take your pick. And that's stupid. You're an idiot if you decide to do that. You're dumb. Stupid. Now, let's go back because I want to go ahead and jump on this countenance here. So we opened this up here with Ecclesiasticus chapter 19. Ecclesiasticus chapter 19, verse 29. I want to go back. Go back one more time. Ecclesiasticus chapter 19, verse 29. Israel, watch this. A man may be known by his look, and one that hath understanding by his countenance when thou meetest him. So remember, image matters. Image is everything. Because the Most High said, I want y'all dressed a certain way. I want you in your fringes. I want my queens in their beautiful, luxurious dresses. I want my kings in their luxurious armor. Oh, yeah, the fringes are an armor. Oh, it's an armor. Now, I want you to go to Deuteronomy chapter 22. Deuteronomy chapter 22, go down to verse 11. Watch this, Israel. Thou shalt not wear a garment of diverse sorts, as of woolen and linen together. Now, there's more complaints that's coming with that. We can't wear mixed fabrics either. Oh, my God. God is just no fun. He just don't want me to do anything. I can't do anything. These laws are too hard. No, it's not. No, it isn't. Look for garments that's 100% of something. That's easy. That is so easy. But our people, though, they get mad. God is too harsh. He's just making my life so boring. And that's male and female. And I was imitating a male doing that one right there. The brothers. Shut up, nigga. Shut up. And they do. They just constantly complaining about everything. Oh, yo, man. Yo, I can't do that. Shut up. Yes, you can. Spend the extra 5 minutes to look for a garment that is up 100%. And you're going to find out why the Most High God said we ought to do this. You're about to find out right now. Now I want you to go to Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 19. Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 19. Again, Deuteronomy, Moses, Leviticus, Moses. Ye shall keep my statutes. You hear that command from the Most High? Ye shall keep my statutes. Thou shalt not let thy cattle gender with a diverse kind. Thou shalt not sow thy field with mingled seed. Neither shall a garment mingled of linen and woolen come upon thee. You see, most people will read Deuteronomy 22:11 and they don't go here to Leviticus because Leviticus explains it further. Israel, why is the Most High God saying you are not to wear linen and woolen or any other sort of mixed fabric? He's saying here, you are not to mingle the seed. This is why he used this right here. He used his example. Don't take your cattle and mingle it with a mixed seed. A mixed seed. Now, we learned about this here in Tobit 4:12 and all throughout all the other scriptures. We are not to mingle our seed. Why? Because it is impure. It is impure, Israel. And the Most High God said, I do not want any of my children putting anything impure on their body. The Most High God is saying, my babies are pure. I want only the best, only the best, only the best, only the best on my babies. And you have our people that want to complain. The Most High God said, y'all are gods, peculiar, special, holy, but yet our people yet want to continue to complain. Complain, nag, nag, nag. When the Most High is taking you and lifting you up. Let's go to Deuteronomy 7:6 real quick. Deuteronomy 7:6. I'm sorry, I have to. For thou art an holy people. We went over the precepts about holy earlier. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee, chosen you to be a special people unto himself above all people that are on the face of the earth. And you want to complain. You got something to say. The greatest gift, the greatest honor ever given to us, and we complain about it. Do you see why the Most High God said, when I'm coming, I'm killing 2/3 of y'all? He said 2/3 gotta go. Kings, queens, princes, and princesses on this planet. And yet, we want to complain. We don't want to follow. We don't want to do what he tells us to do. When he said, y'all the greatest people on earth, above all people. Above all people. All I ask y'all to do is just to keep my commandments, which are very easy. All I'm asking you to do is to get in your fringes. The same money that you were going to use to buy that bag of weed, or for some people, unfortunately, to buy that damn vial of crack or meth or whatever it is that you do. Buy a fringe shirt. Buy a fringe dress. Take the time, go to a seamstress if you don't know anybody. But we want to complain, though. Got something to say. But let me tell you something. You know what your last words are if you break these commandments? Ah! Those are your last words. You know right now. We are not to play with the Most High. We're not to play with him. We can't. Israel, we can't play with him. We got to do what he told us to do. And it's very damn simple. And this is why I want to make sure, remember, give honor to those who honor is due. And this is why I want to give honor to Queen Pat here tonight. Because she noticed that Queen Tiffany stepped out of line. But she accepted the fact that it was her fault. With her being in that industry, image is everything. Because in the world, image is everything. But do y'all know what Queen Pat is doing now? She's making Israelite clothing. And not only that, but has also offered to make it for you for free. Giving back. Giving back to us. One of the matriarchs. And guess what? All of us need to follow her example. We've all made mistakes. But we correct them. We correct those mistakes. And we help our people. Not just one, not just two. Do you know how you help our people? You wear your garments. Our people see it. They ask questions. You teach them the word. Just like we read Deuteronomy 6. This is what we've been commanded to do, Israel. You help our nation by following the commandments. That's why I always tell y'all, and I'm going to say it again, because many of you reach out to me and say, brother, how can we donate to you? How can we donate to you? Do you have a Cash App? No, I don't have a Cash App. I don't need a Cash App. You want to donate to me? Keep the commandments. Why? Because it benefits the entire nation of Israel. It benefits all of us when you keep the commandments. There is no greater love, no greater honor, first of all, that you give to the Most High, and then you can give to everybody. You see, when y'all want to donate to me directly and give me money and stuff like that, that goes to me. No. And I'm not trying to say that I'm too good for your money. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that the purpose is so much more bigger. The money that you were going to give me, go out and go buy your fringes. Go buy, get some made and take them and hand them out to our people. There you go. That's what we do. That's how you build nations. That's what you do. And so many of you have asked, you know, how can you get your hands on Israelite clothing and everything? I want y'all to take a look at this brother right here. This is King Sirach. You can find this brother at Glorious and Warlike Apparel on Instagram. Take a look at his inventory. Look at this. And I want y'all to go to this brother on Instagram reach out to him, and I want y'all to support this brother. You asked, how can you get your hands on Israelite clothing? I just gave you one of the answers right there. And for every last person under the sound of my voice right now, if you make Israelite clothing, I want you to reach out to me, whether it be email, Mike Maliss channel at gmail.com or on Instagram, so that I can promote you and put you up here. I want you to become successful in your business and to clothe our people. Why? Because we are a nation. We are a nation that's rising again. Oh, yes, we are. We're rising again. And let me tell you right now, the nations, they hate to see us in our damn fringes. They hate it. They can't stand it. Those of you that wear your fringes, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The atmosphere is so much different when you walk into somewhere and you got Esau and Ishmael and everybody looking at you and they looking down and they see them fringes, boy. Woo! It reminds them that they're going into captivity. They hate it. You can see like the color drain from them. And especially, oh, Lord. There are days when I decide like, yo, I'm going to get decked out. I'm going kingly. And when I be walking through places, oh my goodness. It parts. I'm telling you, I'm not lying. I'm not lying. And that glory does not go to me. That glory goes to the Most High. I'm not doing that for self-glorification. I'm doing it because, first of all, the Most High God told us to. I'm following his commandments. And I want to represent him to the absolute best. The absolute best. Just like our forefathers and foremothers used to do in the past. Because remember, image is everything. All right? So Israel, I'm so glad. I am so glad that we were able to spend this one here again this week. I thank you so much for bringing in another Sabbath, and thank the Most High for allowing us to have another Sabbath with each other. I love it. I absolutely love it. And Queen Pat, again, I want to thank you. It was an honor and it was a pleasure. And of course, we'll be in touch more than we were before. We'll definitely be more in touch. And we want to thank you for your contribution to what you have actually done for Israel, even the things that we have not seen. Thank you, Queen. And again, queens, follow her example. Kings, follow her example. We need to be following each other's examples. And the more and more we set the bar, it's going to keep getting higher and higher and higher. And guess what? There's no limit to it. With us, there's no limit. No limit whatsoever. And guess what we're going to do? We are going to continue to rise. Our nation is going to continue to build. Why? Because we are the greatest people on this planet, according to the Most High God. And that I'm going to leave you with. And with that being said, Israel, I love you. I'm out.